Sorry. Thank you, Megan, for telling me that I'm still muted and I forgot to unmute myself. So I'll re-say what I just said. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today, whether you're watching live or watching the recording. I always am appreciative of anyone who takes the time to tune in here or anything like that. So I'm going to try not to take too much time. But as far as the format of this goes, I'm just going to start by just sharing a little bit about my story of how I got started with health and fitness and how I got started with coaching. And then I'm just going to give like a quick little overview of how everything works with, the health and fitness side of things and the accountability and that kind of thing, and then touch a little bit on coaching and what I do as a coach as well. So first of all, I want to make sure anyone who watches this knows that I am a complete open book. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to, comment, feel free to put it in the chat or ask me directly any questions at all. I'm sure that if you're thinking it, I've probably thought it myself and I've probably asked it myself. So just know that right from the start. So as far as me and like my story goes, basically I got started with health and fitness almost 5 years ago now. I got started in June of 2017, I guess it would be. Have to do some math there. But basically how I got started is I went back to work after my mat leave, and I like really quickly, after chasing around a toddler all day, went and sat at a desk, and I quickly gained about 10 pounds in like 3 months. And I mean, I don't think people really realize that or anything like that, but I have this friend who at the time, I saw her a lot more often and she invited me. I went over to her house to probably watch The Bachelorette or something like that. And she asked me if after we were done, if I wanted to do a workout with her. Now, what people who know me now may not know is that I absolutely hated anything fitness related. I could never stick with anything. I never enjoyed it. I didn't like working. If I could do like bare minimum amount of work with like physical activity, that's what I wanted to do. But I said yes. I don't know why, but I said yes. I did a workout with her. It was great. It was fine. It was hard. But the funny thing is that after we were done, she said, "Oh, do you want to take like a picture with me?" And I was like, "Okay." And then she just said, "Yeah, like I'm a part of this group on Facebook where, there's all these different women in there, and we all kind of share our sweaty selfies, and we help keep each other accountable with our fitness and our workouts and our nutrition and, what we're working towards." And so I kind of got her to tell me a little bit more about that, which I'll get into. But because I'd been somebody who had never stuck with anything health and fitness related for more than a couple of weeks, I was like, maybe this, because I'd always tried to do stuff on my own, and I thought maybe this is kind of something that I could explore a little bit more, or something that might help me, is having this, place where I could be accountable to with other people who are working towards similar goals. Maybe that's a missing piece. And so her and I talked about it, talked about her experience. And then I kind of got started. It wasn't her group. It was run by somebody that she used to work with. But I mean, I got connected with her and got set up, and it took a little bit, honestly, like it took a bit for me to get started. I mean, I got started in June. June's a hard month. It's my birthday and my anniversary, and then it's like getting into summer, and I went away, and so it took a bit for me to get started. But the thing that really kicked it off is this group of people that I was in. We all did the same workout in July or August, and that is what catapulted me from being somebody who went from fitness hater and can't commit to anything to making fitness a daily habit and work on my nutrition. And I lost those 10 pounds and beyond, a little bit beyond, after I had started doing this. And I kind of just fell in love with the whole process. I fell in love with, working out and this group of people that I was with. And I just really enjoyed it. And I think that in the back of my head, I knew that I always kind of wanted this kind of a lifestyle. I just didn't know how to do it on my own. So while that was all happening and while I was working on myself, I remember thinking, like, not too far into it, thinking like, I really like this, but I would kind of like to do my own group. And I thought, like, if I did my own group, I would do it this way and that kind of thing. And so my coach had actually who my coach who had ran my group and that kind of thing, the one that my friend was friends with, she had asked me if I'd ever thought about coaching. And I think I looked it up and it was like maybe end of July or August or something like that of that same year. And I told her no, even though I had been. And I was like, oh, I don't know, like I don't have time. That was my big thing, is I thought that I didn't have time, and I was like, I didn't think I was like qualified enough or anything like that. And so we kind of just like talked about it a little bit, and then she kind of left it alone and brought it up again. And I had basically, over the course of like, I think 3 months, we kind of talked about it, and then off and on. And I asked her like probably every question under the sun that she had ever even heard before. And I finally decided to commit to becoming a coach and starting my coaching journey on November 1st of that same year. So really, I was only a few months into my own health journey, but like I felt so good. I had such great progress, and I was like, I think I can do this. I think I can put aside all of my hesitations and excuses, and I had a lot of them. And I think that I can do this. I just felt like I had this tugging inside of me, and I honestly just went for it. That's kind of what I went with. So how that kind of looked, when at that time in my life I had an 18-month-old or so. I was working full time, so I started out really part time. Like I would kind of work in pockets of time, on maybe some on my lunch break, some in the evenings, that kind of thing. Just kind of like just doing a little bit of work part time. And honestly, over the last 4.5 years, I've gone through so many peaks and valleys of how I worked. So that's why I know that anyone can do this, is because I've done it, part-time with one little kid. I've done it at home with one kid. I've done it working with two kids. I've done it at home with two kids, at home with three. Like I've really just done it all, working, not working, like a full-time job in addition to this, with new babies and 1, 2, 3 kids. So I've really done it all. And I know that it is possible. If you have a desire to make it work, you will make it work. I say that from experience. So, and the funny thing is that like my drive to kind of do this is I wanted to, keep more accountable to my own journey. I wanted to help other people. I wanted to run my own group and do things my own way. I'm very particular in that sense of, personality. But I started to like see how my coach was doing things and putting things on social media. And remember, I didn't know her before I got started. And I started to see kind of what her coach was doing, and her coach was, very successful. She made 6 figures. She brought her husband home from work, and I just kind of, as things progressed in my coaching journey, I was kind of like, I kind of want that too. Like what started out as I want to run my own group and help keep myself accountable turned into so much more, because I just did not realize the potential that this business actually had. And so now, of course, where I'm at now is I'm growing my business, and so that I can like permanently leave my full-time job that I'm on extended leave from. So that's kind of like where I started and how things kind of progressed and kind of where I'm going. So I'm just going to go over a little bit like how I talked about with the, health and fitness part of it, and how that all kind of works for anyone who maybe isn't familiar with it. So the first thing, and kind of like the foundation, is fitness. And so I just told somebody this today, that I've never been a fan of the gym. I used to be way too self-conscious. I didn't know what to do there. I just went in, maybe like walked on a treadmill, and I just didn't like it. I thought people were looking at me. They probably were not. But even still, I'm still self-conscious of this. So I personally love working out at home for that reason, but also I have 3 little kids. I don't know when I would ever make it to the gym. Plus the whole concept of driving there and packing a bag, like it's just too much. This is so much simpler for my busy lifestyle. So the cool thing is that we have either an app or a website where you can stream over 1,500 different workouts on it, and I think that there's actually more than that now. And the cool thing is that there's new ones being added all the time. Like every couple of months, there's a bunch of new workouts that get added every couple of months. There's a huge variety, basically something for everyone, whether you like weightlifting or cardio or yoga or dancing. Like really, there's something for everyone. And it's a really, really good variety. Plus we have live workouts now, which is even better because you can sign up for live classes, which again, taking that accountability piece one step further. So the cool thing, like I said, is I work out at home. I work out in my basement, but you can take, because there's an app, you can take it basically anywhere. Like I used it, I didn't. I was going to use it when I was in Punta Cana, but I didn't this time. But other people that were there were doing the same thing. I've taken it to BC to visit my family. Like I've taken my workouts anywhere, and I'm able to do them anywhere, especially because there's so many different options where you don't need equipment for. So it's so versatile and transportable, which is something I really like. So you can basically work out from home or work out anywhere. I have friends who have taken their workouts to a gym even. So that's really cool. And then the second piece is the nutrition piece. And this is something that I find so valuable and so important, because a lot of people, when they think health and fitness and health and wellness, they think weight loss. They want to lose, 10, 20, 50, 100 pounds. That's not everyone, and that is never the main goal for me in my life, or for what I speak about, or for what I put value in, because to me it's about being and living a healthy lifestyle. But sometimes that does come with weight loss, and I think that the number one way that you can do that is by fueling your body with healthy foods. So the cool thing about this is, also on that same app that I was talking about that has the fitness, there's also 2 different nutrition programs, and both come included like all together in the same app. So the nice thing is that both of them are kind of based on like clean eating, but there's kind of just something for everyone, because there is the 2 different programs. One of them will more than likely work for you. So the cool thing too is that there's lots of different, there's a ton of different recipes for one, which I really find valuable, because I like recipes. I don't like boring food. And with the recipes, there's new ones being added every single week. So you literally, and none of them get removed. It's just more value, more value. So there's always something that you can choose from. And it's not just like plain and simple things. There's everything from, meals to snacks to desserts to drinks, like really everyone, which is so cool. And the cool thing is that there is a family dynamic on it too. Like I personally feed my family, not 100% what I'm eating, but it's something that is easy to accommodate to having a family, and to feeding a family, which I find really cool. There are a lot of even recipes that they've taken that like childhood favorites that they've kind of like healthied up, and so my kids like love that kind of stuff. So there's really just such great value there. There's also really great Facebook support. So support on a really big Facebook group of people doing this all over Canada and the US as well. So people doing these nutrition programs that you can tune into those groups as well. Again, you would get all together. There's also a ton of additional resources like worksheets and that kind of thing. And some of these too, they don't just deal with physical, like this is the food you eat. A lot of it deals with the mental aspect of it, which is so key when you're wanting to stick to nutrition, because I always think, it's easy to do like a 30 to 45 to an hour long workout, but you have to eat all day long, or at least you should in theory. So it is really a mental battle. And the nice thing about this is that this deals with that as well. And it's not like, I know I talked at the beginning about weight loss, but like I said too, is that it's more so about, healthy eating and healthy eating for life, whether that be, just getting in more vegetables or more water, or if you want to maintain your weight, or if you want to build muscle. Like there really, really is something for everyone with the nutrition. And it's just breaking down to like a very simplistic baseline of what healthy is and what is a good way to fuel your body. And then the third thing that is kind of like included. So like I said, the first one was fitness and then nutrition. And then the third part, which I actually think is the most important. Okay, I've said that about all of them, but the most important and what I kind of touch on at the beginning is the support and accountability. So this is why I said that I kind of got started with this, because it was different. It had this accountability piece. So now I run all of my groups on that same app that everything else is on. So it's cool because, say for example, you do a workout, the app automatically logs it. You can track it right to the group. It's super simplistic and easy to use, which is so key when everyone lives really busy lives, right? So, and the nice thing is you can track your workouts, you can track your progress, you can track, if it is weight loss that you're after, you can track your food, you can really track anything. And I'm a huge tracker person, so I absolutely love that there's the tracking in this. But it's nice because not only can you track and you have your self accountability with that, but you also have the accountability of the group. And so, like I said, I run the group on the app as well. And so it's nice because it's just this place where you can go that's filled with other people who are working towards similar goals. So it's people who want to make health a priority in their life and want to make healthy living and a healthy lifestyle and fitness just a part of their everyday routine. So no matter what is going on in your world, in your household, at your job, you can always have this one place where you can go that if this is what you're wanting to focus on, you have people to help and support you along your journey. And I also do like tons of fun stuff in my groups. I have, daily check-ins, which help keep us accountable. I try to share like tips and insights, and I do fun stuff and prizes and that kind of thing. And all of these things are just ways to help us, keep accountable to the goals that we say that we want to achieve, right? So that's kind of like how the health and fitness part works for anyone, like I said, who isn't familiar with it. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the coaching part of it, of how that works. So like I said, there's this health and fitness aspect of it. I consider myself to be a health coach. So that is obviously the foundation, but I've taken my own health journey and I've taken that and seen what it's done for me. And now I'm just sharing it with other people. So, I mean, when I first got started, that of course looked like, talking to some of my close friends and family of like, I lost, 15 pounds in just a couple of months. Like I finally have a fitness routine that I actually love, and just like having real life conversations like my friend did with me before I got started. She told me about these workouts that she was doing. She's like, I have to do this workout today. I committed to doing it. So do you want to do it with me? Those real life conversations, that is what it's all about. So as far as like the coaching part goes, it's really a lot less complicated than a lot of people think, I think. So what I do when somebody wants to get started as a coach, what I do and what I commit to is I like to work with my people one-on-one to achieve their health goals first. So if you're not familiar with the systems, like I get you set up with that first. Now, lots of people, they kind of maybe don't connect with me because they want to coach from the start, but they already have that. But just in case you don't, or just in case, you want to continue to work on it, like that is always foundation number one. Like your health goals, that is what we're here for. You need to work on yourself first. And then I will also work with you on your business goals. So whatever that may be. And I mean, like I said, when I got started, my goal was I want to keep myself more accountable to my own health journey. And I wanted to run my own group and help a few people. Like those are pretty vague goals. Of course, now my goals are a lot different because I want to leave my job and I want to have the financial freedom aspect of it. But what I kind of do to help you work on your business and your business goals is I, teach you different things of what I've learned over time, show you different systems we use and different tools that we use and that kind of thing. And I just help mentor you one-on-one so that you can see success and, like I said, achieve not only your health goals, but your business goals as well. So and I've kind of touched on this a little bit, but I find like if you're somebody who has big health goals and you want to make this a lifestyle haul over, coaching 100% helps you stay more accountable to your goals. Like it just does. The coaching helps you stay 100% more accountable to your goals. And like I said, it's one of the main reasons why I started coaching, because I wanted to stay accountable to my goals. It wasn't because I felt that I was an expert, because I wasn't. I 100% was not. But I just wanted, I felt like I was kind of just like one step ahead of some other people, like say my sister or my mom or something like that. I was just one step ahead. I knew a little bit. I knew enough to kind of like point people in the right direction, but I wasn't an expert. I was only a couple months in, and I just wanted to help people feel like I felt. So that's why I say, like, don't, if you have like tugging on your heart, like I said that I had at the start, that you see something in this and you want to help other people, don't feel like, oh, I'm not far enough ahead of my journey, like I haven't seen as much success. Like that will go alongside with coaching and really, really actually help you, because people really value the journey and not just the end picture. Like it's kind of like if you're scrolling through social media and you see a before and after of somebody who lost 100 pounds and they're super ripped now or whatever, like you're like, oh, that's great, but move on. Like you might ask them what they're doing, but when you see somebody showing up day after day after day, putting in the work, you're much more you get drawn and like sucked into that. Sucked is maybe a bad word, but like you get really drawn into that, right? So I always encourage people, like if you have that desire, don't worry about not being where you want to be. I've had 2 kids since I started coaching, so my journey has gone like this for the last few years, actually since I got started, because really I started in November and got pregnant in January. So and then I had 2 kids back to back. But anyways, that was a rabbit trail. Okay, so it's just, and the reason why it helps keep you more accountable is because, if you're telling people that you're doing this, they're more likely to watch you, even if it's just at family gatherings, even if it's just at Sunday family dinner. Like you have more eyes on you, so that will help you keep accountable. And not only that, but like once you start showing up a bit more on social media and that kind of thing, like people are watching you. I'm not going to say people are waiting for you to fail, but like there might be people out there that might be thinking that. I'm a huge believer in proving people wrong, and that kind of fuels me a little bit. But even if you want to just, even if you don't look at it from that perspective and you just look at it from the perspective of, people are watching me, I can't let them down. And that's something that really, really drives me. Like I can't let them down. I can't quit on these people. I can't quit on myself. And so there really is like a whole extra level of accountability with coaching. So the other reason, and I kind of touched on this a little bit as well, but the other reason why I kind of wanted to start my coaching journey is I wanted a creative outlet. So like I said, I kind of thought like, oh, I like this, but I kind of want to do my own group and run it my own way. And so like I'm not like a super creative person, but I have like this little bit of creativity in me. And the job that I was in at the time was very like admin, like I wasn't able to use much of my creativity. I was able to a little bit like at home with my kids, like say decorating their rooms or party planning and that kind of thing. But like I wasn't able to get out as much of that as I wanted to. So this was a way that I could like create my own thing, design my own groups the way that I want to do them, design my graphics should I choose to do so, write on social media about what I want to write about. And like I really, really needed that because I just didn't have it in my full-time job. And the kicker for this, for like me starting, was that I could make an income as well. So this was the final push for me to get started when I got started 4 years ago, is, because I said already that I felt like I was too busy. I wasn't sure. I was really on the fence. I didn't know anything about the business side of this. But I remember thinking in my head that although I had a desire to do this, like because I felt too busy, because we all feel too busy all the time, I still feel too busy. But because I felt like I didn't know if I could take this on, I had to make sure that it was essentially worth it. And the way I kind of justified that is if I could make a little bit of extra money, because basically it was taking time away from, my time at home with my son and that kind of thing. But it wasn't really, because really I just kind of took out some extra TV time in the evenings. And I worked a little bit on my commute instead of doing nothing. But before I got started, that was kind of my thought, is I'm like, I don't want to take time away from my family, just for nothing. But when I got started, it was actually, I don't want to say easy because it's still work, but like I very quickly started to make a couple hundred extra dollars a month. And that to me at the time was worth it. A couple extra $100 a month, that was 100% worth it for me for the time that I was putting into it. Now, of course, you have control over the amount of money that you make in this business. The more you figure things out and the more you find your groove, and I don't want to say the harder you work, because it's not always the case, but the more you kind of like work things, like you have control over the amount of money that you make. So I make quite a bit more money than those couple $100 I made at the start. But in addition to that, like, I've seen, like I said, my coach's coach, I already touched on this, how she makes, I don't know if she still does, but when I got started, she was making six figures in the business every year. She was able to bring her husband, who was working like up in Fort McMurray, like away from home. She was able to bring him home full time, and they were a stay-at-home family. And I just remember looking at them and just thinking, like, that's what I want for my life. Now, of course, because of the way that life has gone for me, it's been able to happen before I've really gotten there financially. But I'm still working towards that. And I know that it is possible because I've seen other people do it. Even though my upline is in that position, she's not the only one. She's actually one of many who have seen that same kind of income progression and seen what this has done for her. And this person that I'm talking about particularly, she's not some like high up person who lives in like California. No, she lives local to me. Like, she lives in Stony Plain, I think. So for all my local people, you'll know where I'm talking about. So I just think that, it is like, whatever you want out of this business, whether it is just to help keep yourself accountable, or to help a few other people, or to earn a little bit of extra money, or to earn a lot of extra money, whatever you want to achieve, you can achieve it. The money part aside, so that was kind of like why I got started. But once I got started, I saw this as such an incredible gift. I had no idea what this business was all about. Everything from like the community aspect of it, of like, there's this huge team and group of people that you just instantly feel connected with other coaches in the network, in our team, in my uplines team, everywhere, local and not. You just have this incredible community of, again, people who are working on their health and fitness and working on their businesses. We have that commonality, right? As well as, we get to, the last couple of years with COVID have been weird. But before that, and now we're kind of getting back into it, we get to do a ton of different events. So we have like quarterly, we have one like next weekend, a quarterly super weekend event is what it's called. And so we all get together and we get to like chit chat and that kind of thing, and see each other in person, and we get to do a workout together, and we get to have fun, and there's giveaways, and we get to hear different announcements of things that are coming out, like new programs and that kind of thing, which is always super exciting. Plus we have an annual Coach Summit event that happens in the summer. So usually it's somewhere in the States. Plus, I actually just got back from our Success Club trip. So I got to go to Punta Cana. I got to bring my husband. I earned the entire hotel stay, like the resort stay. We stayed in an all-inclusive, so like my resort and like my food and drinks and all of that, I earned all of that. I didn't get it paid for. I earned all of that by working the previous year and earning it while also making money, like actual money that went in my bank account. So that was really, really cool, because honestly, otherwise I would not have been going on a trip this year at all. If it wasn't for this, I don't know when my husband and I would have traveled again. So it's really, really cool. Plus there's a ton of like Beachbody also always has really cool incentives and that kind of thing, with, different, I've been able to earn like lots of different, shirts and sunglasses and like different like wearables and that kind of thing, and like some knick-knacky things. Not everything's a knock out of the park, but there's just always something that's going to help keep you, again, accountable to your business, not only with your health and fitness, but accountable to your business, to just kind of different benchmarks that you can work towards, which I find is a fun way to work towards your business and work towards your own goals, right? So in closing, so that's kind of like the coaching part of it. In closing, I just want to say that like I've kind of already touched on this, that I've seen many like peaks and valleys throughout my business and my own personal life and my own health and that kind of thing. Again, a lot of that has to do with having babies and postpartum and all of this different stuff. But honestly, if I don't think that I would have been able to come back to my health and fitness after some of these harder times in my life if it wasn't for coaching. I really, really, really believe that. And there's been other times where I've felt like giving up and I push forward, but this business has given me a way to work on my personal self and work on being the best version of myself. I can, without a doubt, more than likely say that had I not started my business and started my health and fitness journey, I would probably still be like a strung out mom, super stressed out, super anxious, super angry. And I'm just so much more chill now because I work on myself, not only my physical health, but my mental health and my emotional health every day. And this business is the reason why. I definitely think that as someone who used to hate health and fitness and who used to like be very, like, I don't want to say rude to people, but like I was somebody who was very much so like, do not invite me to your at-home party. Like I am not, no. I was very much so like everything's a pyramid scheme, which pyramid schemes are illegal. They're not in Canada. If they're illegal. This is not a pyramid scheme, but I was very much so that kind of person. So I think that if I can go from being a fitness hater and like any kind of like MLM network marketer hater, like, and I can go into to someone who like absolutely loves fitness and working out and is falling in love with like the overall healthy lifestyle, and someone who loves this business and loves what it's done and loves the fact that I get to connect with people every day and share with them what I'm doing and how it's changed my life. Like anyone can do this. And I really, really mean that. I definitely think that this business, especially in comparison to a lot of other businesses, not to put anything down, but I feel like this is so different because it's your overall health. I always say, like, if you don't have your health, you're dead, which is like a little bit dramatized, right? But like, if you don't have your health, like you're dying, you're dead. And yeah, we are all dying day to day, but it's something that I use in so many different aspects of my day, so many different aspects. It's day in, day out. It's what we need to live, to survive, to thrive, right? That's why I kind of say that it's different. And yeah, I'll stop at that. But I personally think that like my life is forever changed as a result of this business, regardless of what my goals have been and what they've changed to and that kind of thing. And I see such a vision for, myself and my life, but also the people who are wanting to do the same. I have a vision for my own team and for the people that I'm helping and going to help in the future. I have such a clear vision and I can't wait to see that all unravel. So I think that that's all from me, unless anyone has any questions or anything. Okay, I am going to stop recording, but like I said from the start, I am a complete open book, and I mean that with all sincerity. So please, if there's anything that you're like, what? Like, please just ask me. I would be happy to have a conversation with you. I can do a Zoom, like whatever works best for you. But I hope that you enjoyed this call, and I look forward to chatting with you soon.